Hello HTMM, I'm Jamie with Some of This and That, and today I am going to continue my series on chickens. Now if you missed it, I did a video a couple weeks ago on some stuff that you should know before you ever buy chickens. So today I'm going to go over some things that you need to have before you get your chickens, things like your shelter, your food, your water, things like that. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is food. There are a ton of different things on the market for chickens, from chicken scratch to layer pellets to grit to oyster shells, and it's all going to be dependent on your individual situation, whether you're going to let your chickens free range or if you're going to have them confined to a coop and run area. Now you can simply give them layer pellets, which is designed to help them produce more eggs, but if they are confined to a coop and run, you may need to supplement with things like grit, which will allow for better digestion, since chickens, when they free range, they'll pick up sand and little pieces of pebbles and things like that that will help to crush the food inside of their gizzard, which, because they can't chew, they need these things, and if they're confined to a specific area that doesn't have a lot of that in their area, you may need to supplement that every once in a while just to help aid in digestion. The next thing that you'll need to consider is the housing situation for your chickens. If your chickens are going to be confined to a coop and run, they're going to need about an average of 10 square feet per chicken. If they're going to free range, you only need about 1 to 2 square feet per chicken inside of your coop and run. Another thing is to make sure that your coop and your run are secure, especially if you're going to be keeping them in there at all times. Things like chicken wire can really help with that. It helps keep the smaller chicks in, and it can prevent some of the smaller critters like snakes and possums and things from getting inside of your coop. If you're not sure about predators in your area, be sure to check out the previous video I did where we talk a little bit about predators. Biggest things that you're going to have to think about before you get your chickens is their coop area. There are a ton of different pre-made coops that you can buy online. They tend to be a little bit more expensive, and a lot of times they are small and they don't offer enough ventilation for chickens. You want to make sure that your coop is properly ventilated with plenty of air circulation to prevent bacteria growth from growing inside your coop, as well as making sure there is enough air circulation to prevent any respiratory issues in your chickens. This also comes around to the type of bedding that you use. You can use things like pine shavings, or a lot of people use sand as well. I opted to use pine shavings because it was the simpler option for me, but I have to make sure that I clean my coop out at least every week or so. If you do the sand option, you can always do that, and it essentially turns your coop into a giant litter box for your chickens, and all you have to do is come in and scoop it out every once in a while. But you just make sure that you get the right sand for those coops. You don't want to use a playground sand because it is too fine, so if you're going to go with the sand route, make sure you get more of a construction grade sand. Now, another thing that you will need inside of your coop are things like a roost for your chickens. It's where they will sleep at night. It has to be off up of the ground so they feel secure. This is just a basic one that I had built out of 2x4s and 2x2s that are all screwed together. It gives them some place to roost at night and makes them feel Another safe. Thing that you'll need is nesting boxes. This is where your chickens will be laying their eggs. Case in point, an egg. They don't have to be fancy, and there are a lot of just generic nesting boxes available on the market, from wood ones, or you can build your own wood boxes. Now if you're going to go the wood route, be sure to seal your wood very well. That way no moisture can be absorbed into the wood, causing bacteria growth. I like to use just plastic bins. They are easy to wash if an egg breaks inside of them, or if a chicken decides to become broody and it gets messy in there, then I can just take them out and quickly rinse them out. And it's also a good idea to have them raised off of the ground as well. You might also want to consider using something to pad the nesting boxes. That way when the chickens are jumping in and out, they're not knocking around your eggs and cracking them. Another thing is water. There are a ton of different options out on the market for watering your chickens, from the self-watering buckets to just a simple bucket of water to chicken nipples. I prefer the chicken nipples because they are easy to install. You can screw them onto 2-liter bottles of soda and hang them in your run, or you can connect them to things like PVC, which we have connected ours to a PVC pipe that goes up to a big tank of water that is gravity fed. This way the chickens don't run the risk of drowning in a bucket of water, and it also prevents the water from being contaminated with feces and dirt and bugs and things. So that is what I have got for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the HDMM channel. And if you have any questions about chickens, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. And if you like nerdy crafts and DIYs, be sure to check out my channel, Some of This and That, where I post twice a week. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. I miss you.